The morning show here on Arise News. The power struggle between former Edo State Governor Adams Oshiomhole and incumbent Governor Godwin Obaseki continues even after last weekend's governorship election. The Independent National Electoral Commission declared Monday Okpebholo of the All Progressives Congress, who is backed by Senator Oshiomhole, the winner, defeating his main rival, Edo State of the People's Democratic Party, who had the full support of Governor Obaseki. Okpebholo triumphed in 11 local government areas, while Edo State won in 7. Although neither Oshiomhole nor Obaseki appeared on the ballot, political observers see the election as a contest of supremacy between the duo. This also gave rise to accusation and counter-accusation on the manipulation of the governorship election, with Obaseki and Edo State already threatening to recover what they believe is a stolen mandate.
You are the miracle worker. You have done a miracle today. You have done a miracle today. Yahweh, Yahweh, your name is Yahweh. You are the miracle working God. Your name is Yahweh. Governorship maker. You are the governorship maker. You are the Okpebholo governor today. You are the Okpebholo governor today.
Well, Senator Oshiomhole joins us now from our Abuja studio for a chat on these and many other things surrounding the Edo elections. Good morning, Senator, and thank you very much for joining us on the program this morning.
I'm humbled. Thank you so much for having me around.
Fantastic. Senator Oshiomhole, I guess congratulations are in order. We just played your video there where, you appear to even be more excited than the governor-elect. That Yahweh song was carefully selected as a victory song for the moment Okpebholo was announced winner. I mean, we could hear you all sing Yahweh, you have made Okpebholo governor today, but, that song was easily interpreted as you, Oshiomhole, have made him governor. You have been described as the godfather of Edo State. Are you?
No, that's not correct. I think some people are just paranoid in trying to, twist files that are open. When we say Yahweh, God, your name is Yahweh, we emphasize God. And we say the miracle-working God. You are a miracle worker. You have made Monday the governor of Edo. You have made, that is God. We are communicating with God. How could neither Yahweh or God sound like Oshiomhole? But because some people are very paranoid about, emphasizing Godfatherism, God, not man, make anyone what he is. It's God that make you who you are, Oji. And he made me who I am. And he made Obaseki who he is, and Godwin. Now that we defeated Obaseki and Edo State, we should be quite predictable. There was nothing, neither in Obaseki's performance, nor in Edo State's credentials, that would have made them win the election. And I said that before on this channel, that Edo State is not electable. Now, what are the facts? Obaseki is like the proverbial blood man who, in 2016, he rode on my back as an outgoing governor. We crossed the river and we didn't allow his leg to touch the water. And so he didn't understand what it took to become a governor. In 2020, again, there were internal crises in the APC. Obaseki again had the backing of some element within the APC. And of course, the very Wike that he's demonizing now, Wike left for record to Governor Wike, as he then was, to Benin, and the wreck that they were protesting against, that same wreck was in Benin. Again, Obaseki rode on the back of Wike and elements and what became known as PDP Legacy Group, together with some elements in APC, they took him to cross the river for the second time without his leg touching water. And so twice, he was being described as the Iron Man. And now this time around, he has burned all the cables. He has divided the PDP into two. The legacy PDP left him. Wike left him. I left him. His deputy left him. So he was now a lonely man. And now he had to cross the river using his own strength. He just find that in the process, he got sunk inside the river, which he himself predicted that once he loses the election, he said the election was a do or die. Now, people have done it, and he's dead. This has nothing to do with me. But of course, I'm very proud to support Okpebholo because I believe we don't need arrogant people in government. It's not like a private company where you are the CEO because you own 80% or 51% of the vote of the shares. You can dictate. Public office is a public trust. And the vote of a tailor, as we called me, and I'm very proud. That is why I tailored my suit today to show that I can dress even better than the boardroom chairman. And the Obaseki called himself the Iron, and Obaseki's wife described our candidate as a panel beater. Now the panel beater has thoroughly beaten the iron, meted the iron, and I as a tailor have unveiled the iron, and it has become what it is, a defeated duo. And there's nothing that we can attribute to our strength. I think that God knows that Obaseki misgoverned the state. He defrauded the people. He jailed innocent women. He did a lot of terrible things that any man who has a fear of God will not do to his own people. And he's proud to say, I will crush. I will crush. And every other minute he will say, I am the chief security officer. In the process, he forgot that these powers belong to the people. You know, sovereignty belongs to the people. They delegate you, they trust you, believing that you do good to them. Instead, you use the power to threaten, you made promises you never kept. So there was nothing. And even the royal father, he was fighting him. He fought everybody. He fought everybody. Whether you look for a trouble, you didn't look for a trouble. For Obaseki, crushing people was himself a way of life. So we are very happy that we have consigned him now to the dustbin of political history. He never really had anything on his own. Now he has had to cross the river by himself, and he just got drawn.
All right, distinguished Senator, thanks for kickstarting the conversation on the notes that you have done. Highlighting the fact that you're not the Godfather. We had a bit of the song that was rendered there during the election, and there were references clearly as to the fact that you are a maker of some sort of governors. But that's by the way. I would like you to...
No.
All right, go on. It's not Rufai, this is Steve, distinguished Senator. It is Steve Ayorinde. It's not Rufai. Thank you, sir. Okay. Go on. You would like to respond to that? Yes, sir, yes.
Steve.
Yes, please proceed.
Yes. That is I'm sorry to use the word. That is the mischief I'm talking about. We are saying, Yahweh, you are a miracle-working God. Yahweh, you are a miracle-working God. You have made Monday the governor of Edo. How does that sound like Oshiomhole? We say, you have made Monday the governor of Edo. And during the campaign on your Arise television, you watch us sing that song at every rally. We ask God, at that time, we say, God, come and make Monday the governor of Edo. And when he has done it, we again recite it and change it to say, today, you have made Monday the governor of Edo. But Aras is always, I'm sorry to have to say, Aras, you have voted that your candidate lost. And so you try to twist it. Oshiomhole is a miracle God. If I have the powers to make a governor a God, I would have defeated in 2020 when Obaseki lost. Why would I allow him to lose when I have the power to unmake him? Senator, so it is just a way of demonizing me and making me. How can anybody born of a woman describe himself as a miracle, as a governorship maker? How?
All right.
How? Only in Arise I had that.
That's fine.
Incidentally, this statement, wait, there are There are other TV stations. Nobody else misunderstood me except Arise Television.
Arise Television, Senator Oshiomhole, we do not vote. We do not have a candidate, and we were not participating in your election. I mean,
you are pained that the man you celebrated.
Who would you say? Who's the man?
You are very pained that the man you...
Who is the man that we picked?
Pardon?
Can you tell us, share with us, who is the man we picked?
You were working.
For who?
All the Arise major, you were for Aswa Igodaro.
Oh, well, we'll state it here categorically. We will state it here categorically. Arise Television, we do not participate in voting during the elections. Steve Ayorinde.
All right, distinguished.
You don't participate, but you have your biases.
No.
Everybody has his biases. Yes. I don't blame you for that. I have my biases. I was for Okpebholo. I don't hide it.
That was not a bias.
Vigorously for him.
Distinguished Senator, you had a dog in the fight. We didn't. But let's leave that matter. Let me.
No, you did.
Okay.
When I watch some of you say that how could a man who has such intimidating credentials and so on, you didn't know what electoral value means.
Right.
You didn't understand.
All right. If you allow me to ask my question,
graduate, a professor.
We will come there. We will come there, Senator. But then I wanted to draw you to a specific thing that you said about Asue Ighodalo not being electable, because that's those were your words clearly. And then I'd like to remind you of the outcome of the election.
And I gave my reasons. Yeah.
Yes, but I want to remind you of the outcome of the elections. In terms of the votes cast as declared by INEC, and the man that you claim is not electable, scored a total vote of 247,274, as against the vote of your candidate, who of course was declared winner, 291,667, 40,000 plus advantage for Monday Okpebholo. That was a close election. I'm going somewhere, Senator. That was a close election. You can't say that a man who lost by that figure was unelectable. But then there are issues around the elections. As you know, PDP is saying that they won the election. If you read on the cover of today's Vanguard, there is a story there from the observers who are said to have released a damning report claiming that they have information about how the votes were manipulated during collation. You are also aware that this will probably be the first time in recent history that a governor will emerge in Edo State with only one senatorial district, Edo North, in Eskiti, losing two. My question to you, sir, is, are you truly satisfied? Are you truly, do you truly believe that you won this election APC, fair and square? And then I would like to know what figures your situation room had before INEC released its own. Did it tally? How was your own situation room? Because PDP is claiming clearly that they won by at least 30,000 votes over your candidate.
Now, I don't know how many questions you have asked. The first one about a man who scored the number of votes that was declared in favor of Aswe, whether that means that shows that the man is electable. No, you do not understand the meaning of the word. Consult your dictionary, your political dictionary, and confirm the meaning of electability. Being electable means you can't win majority of the votes. Whether in America, in UK, elsewhere, it doesn't mean that a man who lost election doesn't win any votes. So the fact that he won some vote doesn't make him electable. To be electable means you are capable of winning the election, and he has lost it. He has confirmed that he's not electable. And then you go into how is it possible that you are just, again, consciously or unconsciously, you are putting questions that, to be honest with you, they are neither academic, nor are they something that, what can address. You are asking me if what was in our situation room, are we the collation officers? If I choose to post fake result to my situation room, Does that mean anything? And so when you ask these kind of questions, they are not informed by any logic, with due respect. And then you say, observer has given a damning report. They damn your report. Whose report did they damn? Let me ask you. You are not a local television station. In fact, you are one of those who seek to be an international cable network. And you proudly talk about the number of countries in which you are, that you have viewers. I take your mind back to the election result in Kenya by foreign observers. And they said the election was free and fair. The first time, I forgot now whether Ruto or whatever is his name, I can't remember exactly. And the Supreme Court of Kenya, no, they said the election was free and fair. And the Supreme Court of Kenya found that the election were neither free or fair. And they were nullified. So you use observers. What is the definition of an observer? It's an observer as close to as the monitor and somebody who has a duty. I am an observer of Arise. You have just voted my views. An observer's perception, as they say, what is apparent may not be real in the real world. That something appear apparent doesn't mean it's real. An observer is no more than, as the name suggests, an observer. And his view cannot be superior, they cannot be damning.
But Senator...
Use very strong word.
Senator, but...
Now, how many, excuse me, well, no, hold on. You took 10 minutes to ask me about 20 questions. Now, how many units are in Edo State? Do you know the numbers? I guess you don't. I will educate you on this. We have 4,590 police units across the length and breadth of Edo State. These observers, how many were they? How many units did they observe for them to be more credible than INEC that was present in every election? Number two, INEC suddenly become what you have described him, but it is the same INEC, the same REC, order the same INEC chairman, order the same REC, because one of you asked me this question last time. I watched you asking that the REC was different. It is the same REC that was there. It's the same Wike that was there in the PDP, and everything was fine. You saw Governor Obaseki commending the Nigerian army. I saw it on television, on your Arise TV, commending the Nigerian army for being thoroughly professional in the way they handled this election. So, but meanwhile, if you ask us, we have chosen not to look for faults. Because even if we do, not many people will believe us. The truth of the matter is, he who lost his election in Africa, particularly in Nigeria, who has ever admitted that he lost? Only maybe 4 out of 10. I myself, I went to court when I was rigged out. When Obaseki won last time, even though we believe there was conspiracy between some element of APC and some element in INEC and so on, we took our pains, waiting for another day. As Ikwe said, a man who fight, run away to fight another day is not a coward. And now we have a rematch, and we have defeated them. They can go to any court. I went to court. It is not a big deal. I am sure in the history of Arise television, and even you as a person, you have had cause to go to court if you feel that your right has been breached, whether commercial right, economic right, or political right.
You did go to court, and that's why I want to ask you if you see any room here for history to repeat itself, with Okpebholo disputing the elections, going to court, and possibly emerging as the governor of Edo State if history does repeat itself. What are your thoughts on that?
My thought about what? Excuse me?
History repeating itself. Like you said, you went to the courts, you disputed elections, and you emerged victorious when you did it. Do you see any possible case here where Okpebholo goes to court and the exact same thing happens that happened to you in Edo State?
With all due respect, that's an unhelpful question.
Why is that?
Because if you want to trace this thing, wait, you can't pick and choose. In 2020, people took Obaseki to court, believing that he rigged the election in collaboration with some element in INEC and in APC. And the court returned Obaseki as victorious. We left it. We questioned his certificate. The court said no, his certificate was in order. So, is it the first time that somebody goes to... You quote the one in which I won. There are many more cases in which those who went to court lost.
Of course, that's a possibility
So that's
too.
why
That's
when
a
you apply
possibility
logic,
too.
when you ask me to predict what the court might find, with all due respect, that's an unhelpful question.
So what is it
In
to
fact, it
you
should be
then?
sub judice. Because we should allow the court to do their work.
That's not sub judice.
Yeah.
That's not sub judice. What is it to you then, Senator, that makes
Well,
your
maybe-
candidate?
no.
Can I finish asking? That makes your candidate the right person for the job. I mean, people have been concerned that he doesn't really even do TV interviews. I think he did one with the BBC. What do you think makes Okpebholo the right man for this job?
Your question is still academic question.
How?
Because only Edo people can decide. Now, listen, only the voters in Edo State, and not you, can decide which kind of person they want as a governor. If they prefer even a deaf person, who are you, with all due respect, to sit in Lagos and say, no, Edo people are wrong? Are you so privileged to do in a democracy? Democracy is an equalizer. Now you describe him as a mechanic. You describe him as this.
Who described him as a mechanic?
You have to listen.
Who?
Allow me to answer this question. Allow me to give you this example. The president of Brazil today, Lula, he was a panel beater. He rose to become the head of the panel beater unions.
All right.
And then to become the president of the Brazilian trade unions. From there, he became the president of Brazil.
But who described him as a mechanic?
Defeated professors, defeated doctors, etc. Now, Obaseki and his wife did.
Okay, so don't say you,
And you
sir.
also
Don't say you. I'm asking you what you think makes him the right person for this job. And all I did was point out that it's been noticed that he also does not necessarily do television interviews, except for one that's been noted with the BBC. I don't really see what's so wrong in that. I'm asking you to promote the candidate that you've supported. What makes him right for the job?
Now, you are being unfair and you are demonizing Edo voters by that question.
How?
You arrogate yourself the power to decide. It is the electorate and it's a secret ballot. Do you understand the logic behind the idea of secret ballot?
All right.
That you vote as you want and nobody, not a television host, not a policeman, can question you. Why did you vote for this person rather than this person? That is the beauty of democracy.
All right.
Which you don't seem to understand.
All right, Mr.
For you,
Oshiomhole.
it's about fluency, it's about motivational speaking.
Okay.
No.
All right. Senator Oshiomhole.
If it's that easy, the way you talk, your eloquence,
No problem.
your eloquence on television should be enough for you to be the governor of your state.
No problem.
Who said I want to run for
problem.
office? I mean, I'm just asking a question. I don't see why you're getting so defensive
right.
about that, but that's okay,
I'm
Senator. We
saying
can
that
move on.
That question is unhelpful. You can't ask me after an election.
All right, Senator Oshiomhole.
You can go to Edo and interview the voters. Why do they prefer this man to this man?
All right,
Because
let me
for
see.
you, the criteria for being elected.
All right, let's see how we can get ahead here. Now, you have rightly said that he should not be judged. Okpebholo should not be judged on the basis of his inability to communicate in fluent English.
I said, you
correct?
cannot judge him.
Right.
So
No,
that
you have
people
said
can
it.
make that decision.
Yeah,
and when they have made it, you are not at liberty to question their choice.
Absolutely, absolutely.
When
We're not questioning their choice now. We're not questioning their choice now. May I speak? May I speak? May I speak? You said that he's campaigned in his language,
yes,
and it worked, right? You said he's campaigned in his language and his work. But now that the campaign is over, can he communicate to television viewers, whom you've rightly said are not important to win the elections? That's the actual question. Are you sure that he can? Because you have said that we make that mistake, assume that anyone who doesn't appear before us are not, important. He has won using his language. Now, can he communicate to television viewers now? Because it's not Edo people he's talking to now. He will have to speak with the whole of Nigeria and perhaps foreign investors.
Listen, this is the point I'm making. This is exactly the point I'm making. That he should communicate with television viewers.
Correct, he has
Are
to.
television viewers more important? Excuse me. The television viewers, are they to decide for Edo voters?
No, I just said that the campaign is over. No, the campaign is over. The campaign is over. He has won the election, as you have said. He has won the election. I believe the question, many Nigerians are... No, the campaign is over.
Excuse me?
The campaign is over,
No, you twisted...
Senator.
You twisted... You twisted what fact? I did
What
not
is the
say.
fact?
No, listen, madam. You twisted what fact?
Yeah.
I will let you to go.
Go
when
ahead.
you are analyzing, we watch. Even when you are fatally wrong, we watch.
Go ahead.
I said the campaign in his native language. I didn't say so.
I'm sorry?
I didn't say he used his native language to campaign.
Okay.
I said at no time.
Okay.
Did I say? And if I did, play it back.
Okay,
At
whatever
no time
language
did I
he
said
used. Whatever
that he
language he
campaigned.
used.
Allow me to finish.
Okay.
No.
Go ahead.
Why do you interrupt?
No problem. Go ahead. Go ahead, sir.
It is not true. I did not say he campaigned in his native language.
We have accepted that
Edo
fact.
has 3 main ethnic groups. Okay, allow me to finish. I said he went directly to the people, village to village, community to community. And in some of the community, they don't speak his language. He communicated to them in the language the community people will understand. He spoke to them in English. On your Arise television, he spoke to the fact that he will do, because I saw one of your analysis, you said he never told people what he was going to do. Of course he did. He said he will employ teachers within the first 3 months, within the first 100 days in office, because he doesn't accept the situation Edo is, in which you have 2-3 teachers in a whole school, one of which is a headmaster, leaving you with 2 teaching staff. He said he will employ both in primary and secondary school. He spoke to the fact that he was going to support farmers with modern farming instruments, and he will provide loans free of interest. He said he will support market women with free loans. He talked about doing everything to work with the security agencies to make Edo, to deal with security challenges in Edo State. He spoke to so many things that he was going to do. He said he will resume construction of new schools because our population growth rate is on average about 3%. So if you don't build more schools, you're going to have crowded classroom. He said he rejected the idea, as we saw during the campaign, of many schools without roof. And a child started sitting on the floor. And that he will build new schools, employ teachers. He spoke about many things. How do you investors? Investors, let me tell you, don't be carried away by Nigerian governors or anyone who goes to Europe or whatever. Investors have their own way of doing their own due diligence and decide on the basis of economic of industrial location which place is safe for us. I am here speaking to you with pride to say that while I was governor of Edo State, I didn't have to go to Arise Television to invite the companies that came to Edo. I went to Dangote, not speaking Queen English to Dangote. My brother, you be help me when I be governor. Now, come and locate factory. Because in Edo, I want our people to get job. And today, Dangote cement is in Edo. I call a Boa. I say, Boa, this your Okpebholo cement you bought to. Look, as of today, you are using it to rebag. That one no go agree. I make a statement, if you don't rebuild it, I go revoke it. Whether I say so in my language or I say so in Hausa, he's Hausa speaking, I'm Edo speaking. In the end, today, Okpebholo, you have giant Boa cement, you have giant Okpebholo cement. I didn't need to go to television to talk to them. I talked to them one-on-one, face-to-face. And if you say these are Nigerians, I got Chinese people who came to Edo. Chinese are not English-speaking people. They are today manufacturing from scrap iron that are used for construction. They are manufacturing all sorts of things in Edo, including glass and ceramic tiles. All this recruited to Edo. Now, the Azura power plant that is in Edo today, I spoke with them, not through television, that Edo can easily become a power hub for Nigeria. And because we have huge deposits of gas and other sources of power generation. And President Goodluck Jonathan came to do the groundbreaking of that giant factory that produced over 700 megawatts of power. And all of this were not done through television. No real investor will take you for what you say. Action speaks louder than words. So, more than we communicate with those who want to be communicated with. Yeah. How he does it is his choice. And I want you to understand one thing, which you are missing completely. And this is the last point I will make, then you can have the day. the responsibility of a governor or of a president is not to be jack of all trades and master of all. He just needs to have the discipline to identify who can get a job done. Even if he were a professor in many fields, he cannot be a professor of law to become his own legal advisor or commissioner for justice. He's not going to be an engineer to become the commissioner for works. He's not going to be a professor to become the commissioner for education. He does not need to be a successful trader to have a commissioner for commerce. Come on. What leadership entails is the discipline to recognize that you do not know everything and be humble enough to identify those who have the skills you need to manage those aspects of governance and society in a manner that will deliver the greatest good to the greatest number of people in the shortest possible time. That is the business of leadership. And when I talk like this, don't question me because I have governed, you haven't.
All right.
And in my second term, don't people... Wait. In my second term, I won 18/18. And my opponent did not go to court because it was so clear. And I know what I did. I am not an engineer. I should say, Ashwell also called me a tailor. And I said, okay, a tailor is even more popular in the typical community. Because those of you here, there, if I see your suit, I can tell you the designer. Who made it. Right. But the board member who will say, oh yes, because I'm a tailor, I know the value of clothes. When I see OG, when you dress in your favorite color, red, I can tell you if you ask me who is the designer. Right. And of course, those making fashion in Lagos, they know most of the women who want to make fashion for Salah, for wedding, for all sorts of things. A typical board man talk to 10 people or a 7-man board. He doesn't connect with the ordinary man as a tailor does.
All right.
He thought he was insulting me by saying I am a tailor. I would wish to be a very good tailor.
Okay.
So I can sew his clothes so I doesn't wear coat.
Okay, that's a good one. That's a good one
so
for.
There's no difference between wearing coat
and
wearing suit. Yeah.
That's a good one for tailors and designers there. We also root for people like that, so we're on the same page as far as being proud of what you do is about. But I'd like to make 2 quick clarifications, distinguished Senator. You referred me to the dictionary
yes,
regarding the adjective that you used in describing Mr. Okpebholo as being unelectable. And I'd like to report back to you, yes, that this is how the dictionary defines electable. And it says of a politician or a party having the qualities which make election likely or possible. And an example will be something like he was the most electable candidate in the field. I understand the point that you were trying to be a bit professorial, but I'm afraid that being electable is not about necessarily being victorious. Electability has to do with the qualities that voters will see in you. And I think that it would be inaccurate, therefore, to describe any candidate, particularly a candidate that came second in an election that is still being challenged as unelectable. That's one. The second point, again, on the issue of clarification, will be the manner in which you dismissed the question regarding situation room and of the APC during last Saturday's election and what it came up with. I'm surprised that you were being dismissive of a situation room, given the fact that APC, in particular, is the leading proponent of situation rooms. As a matter of fact, during the last general election that got Oshiomhole the president, you saw that there was a lot of emphasis on what the situation room would produce. And you saw how the former Minister of Works and former Governor of Lagos State, Babatunde Fashola, was in charge, one of the key people in charge of a situation room. So when you say, in response to a question about what figures did you get in your own situation room, and if it tallied with what INEC eventually produced, we were just been, saying that this is what APC would do normally. But here you are telling us that it's needless, it's unhelpful, and that it is not your duty to do that. I thought I should bring out those 2 clarifications to you, because this is what your party does in almost all the elections. My question, therefore, if you don't mind, sir, very quickly, will be to, on the back of what my colleague Leela asked about what you saw in the candidate Monday Okpebholo. And I have great respect for him as a politician. But you see that we do not know so much about him. And part of why people do not know a lot about him is because he is very reluctant to engage with the generality of people outside of campaign situation. Therefore, my question, sir, would be that what sort of a person he is. We've seen him kneeling down for President Tinubu, which shows humility, if you like. We've heard a few things about him, but what do you, how would you say Monday Okpebholo is to somebody like me, to us in the studio, and to the good people of Edo State who are now looking beyond the election? Distinguished Senator.
Okay, thank you very much. Allow me, sir, to answer this in the way that I can. As for the issue of Situation Room, I was a Deputy Director General of Bola Ahmed Tinubu's Campaign Council. In addition, I am a very close friend of former Governor Fashola and former Minister of Works. Yes, we set up Situation Room. I'm just wondering, when we have celebrated an outcome of an election, you are seriously asking me whether the figure we saw in APC Situation Room in Edo, whether I believe it was the same as the one INEC declared. What you see in channel television, even on Arise television, even when people question it, you defend it. Edo Situation Room was not by me, but the figures that the INEC released and the figure of my party, they are not different. They are not different. You expected me with all seriousness to say, oh yeah, the question with the figure, we had more votes, INEC reduced the votes. That is now academic, with all due respect. Something is academic when it is no longer of value. It's like you are crying over or commenting over spilled milk. If you comment over spilled milk so that the milk will be back in the bottle. So I thought we should discuss about what is now relevant. Right. With all due respect, those questions, if as well like, you can go and test them in court. That is only responsible thing to do. And I also saw some of you when, after the result, that Obaseki is appealing to people to, to take TCG, etc. Who are the people? He said it's a do or die. After he said it's a do or die before the election, is it after the election is preaching peace? Yesterday, I was on the street of Benin, day before yesterday. We went around Benin City, and I don't know what your camera, because your Arise TV was there. Play back the street on the unedited version. You will see people celebrating. You will see people hailing us, hailing the candidate, hailing me, and hailing all those who were involved in that roadshow to say, thank you for trusting us, and we assure you, and the governor says, I will assure you I will do what I will do. That is what is relevant right now. Now, I don't agree. I don't agree that you people in the studio need to understand who Monday is. You don't need to. Because Monday is not accountable to you. He's accountable to those who voted for him in Edo State. And even those who voted against him in Edo State. He is now the property of Edo people. Not the property of anyone, including you, if you are not from Edo State. If you are from Edo State, yes, you have the locus. His mandate was to govern Edo State, not to govern Nigeria. He didn't bid to govern Nigeria. And he seeks to do all of those things that are of concern, that will improve the welfare and the well-being and prosperity for the people of Edo State. Even if you are not from Edo State, but you reside in Edo State, you are entitled to expect benefits. But for God's sake, if you live in Lagos, you are not from Edo State, Monday has no duty to you.
So in that case...
But if you are from Edo State and you live in Lagos, Monday has obligation.
So in that case, why did Governor-elect Okpebholo visit Lagos to come and thank Governor Samuelu? Why didn't he just sit in Edo State? If we're going to go by that idea that just that someone only belongs to a state. So what exactly was he finding in Lagos, looking like he wanted to take a page from Samuel Olu's book? No, because, sir, if we're going to use that logic, right, that we sitting here as journalists in the studio cannot ask questions about a governor-elect in our own country, then why was he in Lagos, in where our studio is, coming to thank Governor Samuel Olu? Because I mean, that is surely, you can see that that's the exact same logic. What does he want to do in Lagos then?
All right. I forgot the name now. My dear sister man, for any man who understands Nigeria culture, if somebody came to visit you when you are celebrating, or he came to visit you when you are bereaved, when you have recovered, you will call the people and say, thank you for your condolence visit, or thank you for coming to celebrate with me. You don't need to be part of the family. If Governor Samuel Olu left Lagos to Benin as a mark of solidarity, exactly the same way I saw on Arise TV that Governor Fitiri of Adamawa State came to Edo to join in crying over the defeat of his party. And if more than they decide that those governors that came to Edo to show solidarity, he has to go and also say thank you. You find something wrong with that? Exactly the same way, before going to Lagos, we first went to Edo to thank Edo people. Thank you for the trust. Thank you for investing trust in me. Sorry, my voice is a little cracked because of the campaigns. So how can you say, why did he come to thank Samuel Olu? That's a problem for you too.
No, sir, I mean, we have officers and we have scores of citizens from Edo State at Arise. We have scores of citizens from Edo State at Arise. We do work in Edo State here at Arise News. Why wouldn't it be of interest to us to know what kind of a man the governor-elect is? Why is this something that you were so defensive over? I don't understand.
It is not for nothing. Check the records. I spoke to your chairman, and I said, I'm surprised that Arise is not featuring in our live coverage. And thereafter, you saw Arise, through Arise Television, many people saw us on the campaign trail. They listened to Monday enumerate all of the things he will do upon being elected. So he spoke to Arise. But what you want is that he must live and talk to you as a person, not to the institution of Arise. Now, Mordecai decide, as even U.S. president will do, they sit down and address the press, or they address State of the Union address. It is not that he must go to a studio to be interrogated or interviewed by people who are clearly very biased.
And also on this thing of bias as well, that you keep on saying, on this thing of bias.
You now mentioned to me, you've just said,
has Arise not,
in the course of your narration.
Has Arise not always supported you?
In the course of your narration, you mentioned that, excuse me. In the course of your narration, you refer to his interview with BBC.
I said that's one I can note.
Acceptance speech. I watched that yesterday, or day before yesterday, when Oji presented his, referred to Monday's acceptance speech. And I said, wow, the guy can speak English. What did they say cannot speak? And I saw somebody else saying, speaking English is not enough. English is a legal fracas. Yet, on Arise TV, during the campaign, you were saying even if he cannot speak English, he can come and speak broken. Somebody will say, one of your colleague, Ayo, you can speak broken. Even if Monday cannot speak English, you can speak broken, you interview him. All of that.
Yeah, because why should anybody be discriminated against for the way they speak?
To attack.
Why should anyone be discriminated against for the way they speak? That's why we're saying, why can't... And I never, by the way, just to clarify, I never spoke just about him coming to Arise for an interview. I said I haven't necessarily noted him doing many interviews, and now that he's governor-elect, and we have explained over the past hour that many people don't know about him, my colleague Steve also made the exact same point. I don't see what it is to get so defensive over about just wondering why we can't know more about him. And we're just sitting here being accused of being biased. And Senator, sorry to say, I mean, we've always supported you as a channel. So does that also make us biased towards you?
No, but I am a friend of channels. I am a
Are you not a friend
of
of
many
Arise?
of your TV hosts at the channel.
Are you a friend
Sorry,
of
I
Arise?
made a mistake. Sorry. I mean, I am a friend of Arise.
All right.
I'm actually closer to Arise because your chairman is my friend. Many of your key people are my friends. Some of your TV hosts are my friend. I have Dr. Rube Agbati for ages, from Guardian to where he is now, and I have huge respect. I have respect for many of you, and you have been fair to me. You have given me good coverage. You have even where you do commercial visit, I have asked your management to give me discount. Nothing to do with me. I'm saying on this election, Arise was clearly biased against Senator Monday Okpebholo for the simple reason that you prefer Aswe Godalo, who incidentally live with you in Lagos.
All right. All right.
You know, when you accuse people, when you analyze, your viewers are also entitled to evaluate you. This is my evaluation.
All right.
And this evaluation, by the way, I have shared it with your chairman, that Arise clearly has already voted for Aswe. Unfortunately, your vote will count because you voted through television. And those people that vote have voted for him. And you feel defeated. You share the grief.
All right.
It's obvious to anybody watching you. And now, even when one of your colleagues there, I think Oji, play back the acceptance speech, I say, the man can speak English. Mm-hmm. Then Rufai said, no, but speaking English is a legal fracas. Really? If it's a legal fracas, why were you making so much heat out of it?
Okay.
And then my dear friend Ruben said, wait. I need to explain to you, because to accuse you of bias is a serious accusation. So I'm not saying so lightly. I saw my dear friend, Dr. Ruben, now try to say that he, instead of using a word that belongs to the past, instead of a past tense, he used a present tense, editing what he did. Now, Nigerians have both in your television, who was Jonathan's spokesperson? It was Dr. Ruben Agbati. Why was he a spokesperson? Does it mean Jonathan is dumb, he can't talk? He has PhD, at least so we were told. He has PhD, and yet he got a spokesperson to manage him, to manage his public image, to manage his speeches. Now you are making so much heavy weather about. The governor has to know where he's strong and where he's weak, and identify those who can help him do what he can do and get the job done.
All right.
At the end of the day, we want to count not the quality of English, not the quality of English, not the length of his speech. We want to say how many more schools has he built.
But that's what we asked you, Senator.
Basically like more Nigeria State.
That's what we asked you, and you said that we didn't have the right to know, the qualities that the governor, possesses. It's just a simple thing.
That's not the quality, because he spoke to those. He said, you choose not to listen to him. I reminded you, he said he will employ 5,000 teachers. He said so through Arise Television, not by interview, through the rally. He said he will build new schools.
All right, Senator
he said he will revive
Oshiomhole, we are running out of time. We are running out of time, and I would like for us to discuss other topics, pressing issues. I mean, at the end of the day, governance is about being able to communicate with all stakeholders, and we at Arise News are just asking if Monday Okpebholo will be able to communicate with all stakeholders. That's the only question we have posed. But I wanted to switch gears here. Last week you were speaking with
communicate with you and all others.
Sure. Last week you were speaking with pressmen at INEC headquarters after Okpebholo received his certificate of return. And you said, and I quote, Edo people now have a governor that will not disrespect the people of Edo State, and a governor who will, respect your traditional institutions and culture, and someone who will not be fighting over artifacts. But isn't it true, and I know that you're referring to Governor Obaseki, isn't it true that Obaseki has maintained a cordial relationship with the Oba of Benin and the Royal Palace, and that he holds the Oba in high esteem? In fact, I read a report by Obaseki's media aide that court case people have referred to over those stolen artifacts, that it's the Edo State government that is the defendant, which means it's the state government that is being sued. How do you react?
You know the good news? More than any other TV station, Arise Television as an institution, and if you allow me, because it's a positive word, I don't need to hide it, Chief Nduka Obiagbena, your chairman, has visited the palace of the Oba of Benin and personally expressed solidarity with the Oba. And he had denounced the idea of trying to reloot the looted artifacts. And Oba appointed him as one of the board of trustees of the museum he's trying to set up, or something close to that. So I was governor of that state. Every Nigerian who has a little bit sense of history knows that those artifacts were stolen from the palace. So how can that be an issue for any governor? But that is not the issue for the election anyway. But I saw you, I think it was Ayo, day before yesterday or thereabout, who said before the election that they raised this concern. It's they, you Arise, raised this concern about the tension between the Oba and the governor. She said, so play back that tape. However, he went on to say, however, Oba should be father to all. As Oba disowned Obaseki as his son, he has it. If a son chooses to be disrespectful to the father has the, as a father, he just allow him to indulge himself and behave like the royal father that he is, not just for Benin people, for all of Edo State. When I was governor, I emphasized over and over, Edo is an ethnic category. Whether you are from Edo North, Edo Central, Edo South, we all came from Benin. And some of our languages, word by word, you find that they are more or less the same. That's why in Edo State, you don't rotate the chairmanship of the Council of Chiefs and Traditional Rulers. So, if Obaseki chooses to do those things, it's up to him. Anyway, now his time is up. His time is up. Like I also said in that interview, I said, we have a governor who will not destroy a hospital and build a museum. A museum for an artifact that he doesn't own. And the Oba said he wants royal museum. This is no secret. He said so through Arise Television. And my witness, my best witness in this case, is the chairman of Arise Television.
All right.
All right. Distinguished Senator.
I also said something which you didn't say.
Yeah.
I said we now have an humane governor who will not send a pregnant mother to prison, and the woman end up because of what do they call them now, roadside magistrate that sentenced a woman for 20,000 naira fine. She couldn't afford it there and then. She was taken to prison.
But you received backlash over that. You received a backlash over that. You received backlash over that.
Distinguished Senator, we really have to go. We really have to go if you don't mind.
Yes.
But I was going to ask you in 5 seconds, sir. I know that never say never in politics.
Yes,
but with Ize Yamu, you did it. With Phyllis Shaibu, you did it, you reconciled. Is there a possible reconciliation with Governor Obaseki? In 1 second, sir, because you really have to go.
Politically, there is no more basis. The music is over.
All right.
There is no more fire in the kitchen. It's only ashes.
All right.
So as a person, he's my friend, but as governor, he was a failure.
Well,
all right.
Senator
Thank you.
Adams Oshiomhole, would like to thank you very much for joining us on the morning show this morning. You've been quite engaging. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you indeed. And that brings us to the end of the morning show today. Thank you for watching and do stay safe. I'm Steve Ayorinde.
Thank you for watching. I am Okpebholo.
And I'm Layla Johnson-Salami from our entire team here in Lagos, Nigeria. Enjoy the rest of your morning and, of course, the rest of your day. Goodbye.